Subarus like this 2005 Blob-eye Impreza have been a bit of a JDM icon for many years now. Unfortunately, due to high insurance costs, many young drivers had to buy them equipped with a little 1.6 litre EJ16, like this car here. This is one of my wife's Subarus. She's had it for over 10 years, but it's been off the road a very long time. As such, it's now in need of full restoration. First step in doing that is getting rid of that little EJ16 and fitting it with a more powerful, much more tunable EJ20. So for this video guys, I'm going to cover how easy it is to swap these engines over, including the technical stuff like swapping ECUs, immobiliser systems and chips and keys, ensuring that the bigger engines run smoothly in the Impreza chassis. When searching for compatible engines, the first thing you need to check is the transmission number, and you'll find that number on the top left hand side of the gearbox, right beside the starter motor. Getting the engine out of one of these is very straightforward. You leave wheels, suspension, transmission, everything in place. All you need to do is take out the front coolant radiator. That gives you enough room to pull the engine forward away from the gearbox. Once you've got that done, you've just got a ring of bolts, 2 nuts and 2 bolts underneath to separate the engine from the transmission. All of this can be accessed from the top. Then on the lower mounts, 1 nut here, 1 nut there, and that's it. Separating the electronics then, you've just got 4 block connectors on the side, and the whole engine wiring loom will stay with the engine, and then it's just down to a couple of coolant pipes, power steering, aircon, whatever else. They'll all come away easy. Once you've got that done, you can lift your engine forward and away from the gearbox. The donor car for this project is a 2003 Forester, which came equipped with a lot of nice features like heated front seats, a high-low range selectable transmission, extra large sunroof. It even had automatic hill hold, which many cars back in its day in 2003 simply did not have. Unfortunately for this machine, over time it's developed a new optional feature all on its own. This model now comes with the Flintstones option on the rear axle. We drove this all the way down from County Roscommon where we picked it up, and the one good thing it has is half decent EJ20. So I'm down underneath it here just undoing the manifold bolts, and it looks like there's a couple of oil leaks going on. Both cam cover gaskets are leaking, which is normal enough, but there also seems to be a trail of oil coming from the centre rear of the engine. I just hope it's not the rear main. We'll have to investigate further once I get the engine out. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 catalytic converters. What is that doing all the way down there? Some idiot welded that in there where it's way downstream and it's not going to get hot enough to work. With stupidity like that, I wonder did this lad have anything to do with it? With the engine now out and the flywheel removed, we can see that the rear crank oil seal was leaking quite badly. Same with the rear cam seal and cam cover gaskets on both sides. So I'm going to have to order up a few bits for this engine before I can fit it into the Impreza body. From here though, we can also see engine wiring harness block connectors identical to the EJ16, so this will plug directly into the Impreza's body harness. Also the fitting for the gearbox. Even though this had a slightly different gearbox with the high-low selector on it, it was still a TY75, same as the standard 5-speed TY75 that's in the Impreza, so this will fit directly into the Impreza's gearbox without any problems. So until this engine's ready to go in, the next thing to do is to swap over the ECU, immobiliser system, and most importantly the chip and the key, and verify that the Forester's management systems have been successfully integrated into the Impreza. The main engine ECU for both Forester and Impreza is in the same place, which is underneath the left-hand front passenger footwell. If you peel back the carpet, you'll find this steel kick plate. Underneath the kick plate is your main engine ECU. Taking it out's easy, just unbolt it from the floor and unplug it from the wiring harness. As well as that, we also need the immobiliser control unit, which is this little black box in here. That just unbolts and unplug it from the loom. And also the chip recognition ring, which goes around the ignition barrel. To take that off is quite simple. Kind of hard to see on the camera here, but it looks like there's a little screw in it. You don't actually need to go near that screw. You can just slide it out, just like that. And all you have to do then is take out the bulb, which is this connection here on top. That's just the green light bulb that you see around it. What's important is the other wiring connection over here, and you can actually see where that wire goes off into the immobiliser control unit there. That right there is everything that's needed for the swap over. Keys with chip in, the recognition ring, immobiliser control unit, and the ECU for the donor engine. You can see these keys are pretty bad shape. So what I'm going to do next is swap over the chip out of these keys into the Impreza original keys, because I don't want to have to go undoing security bolts and messing around with the ignition barrel. Changing over the chip in the key is super easy. Two keys with the red tag is the Forester. These two here are the Impreza. So you want to do is you want to go ahead, open up the key. There we go. Now the chip in the key for the immobiliser is this little black square here. Now at this stage I'm going to put a little mark on them so that I don't get them mixed up. A little F on that for Forester, and a little I on that one for Impreza. I'm going to have to remove the battery. And the little tab of the battery here actually holds the chip in place, and this is where you have to be super careful. What you want to do, come in very gently underneath it, just wiggle it up off the immobiliser chip. Don't put too much pressure on any one area. You want to make sure you don't break the chip. Pop that back in then afterwards. Once you've that done, you now very carefully, just like that, remove the chip, okay? And there is Forester's immobiliser chip. Okay, let's put that to one side. We're going to do the same now with the Impreza key. Okay. Now I'm going to take the chip from the Forester, put it into the Impreza key. Push it down into place nice and easy. Take the bar from the battery, put it back into place. Refit the battery. Close the key back up again. And that's it, job done. Fitting the Forester's immobiliser system into the Impreza is very simple. Everything on these is plug and play. So you just take your immobiliser control unit, which ironically is made by Mitsubishi, and bolt it up where the Impreza's old one was. Plug the little green ignition light back into it and line up the two slots either side. And like I said, that little brass screw that's in the ignition, it looks like you have to take it out, but you actually don't have to. You could just pop the ring out past it. And that's it, that's your recognition ring back in place. Tighten up that bolt and then you move over to the ECU itself. This is the original Impreza ECU compared to the Forester ECU. Different colours, but all the plugs should fit together. They are literally like Lego cars. Everything is plug and play. You can see here the key light is flashing. There it is. That tells you that the car is not detecting the key, or more importantly, the chip in the key. So here's our Impreza key. I'm going to put it into the ignition. The key light has gone off. Now obviously I can't start it with no engine in it, but we can turn on ignition. I've just temporarily stuck a battery in. If this was the wrong key, that key light would be lit up right here, telling you that it's not detecting the immobiliser chip. If I take the key out, look what happens. Now, it's looking for the key again. So that has been a success. So there you go. That's how to transfer an ECU and immobiliser over to a different vehicle. So guys, if any of you are Subaru owners out there and you're thinking about doing a job like this, if you've got any questions, let me know down below in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out. Also, if anyone out there can suggest any good mods, any tuning parts for that EJ20, let me know in the comments also, please. It'd be greatly appreciated. Might just be able to get them in before we have to fit the engine. But now that we know that the ECU from the Forester has been successfully integrated into this chassis, I can't really go much further for the moment until I get the repair parts for that engine. So I think we'll take it up in part 2. We'll repair the engine, get it fitted into the Impreza body, we'll test it out and see how it drives. Other than that guys, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next one.